Buddy. All right, so review time. We're gonna do solo review tonight. So we're gonna start on the YouTube side. So we're gonna start. So guys, welcome into a Slam Zone Sports review of AEW's Grand Slam. So we're gonna start that tonight. So guys, we had some good matches tonight. We had Jon Moxley, Bryan Danielson. We had Claudio Castagnoli versus Chris Jericho, Britt Baker. I will say for this review, if you guys are new to Slam Zone Sports, we do reviews on AEW's Dynamite every week. We try to do Rampage. This week I'll be doing one. You guys just experienced a watch along where watch alongs are a little chaotic and whatnot, as you guys can see. But yeah. This week we are doing a little bit weird. We're doing it on my channel this week because I got to get hours on Trovo and things like that. And so yeah, let's get into it. Let's get on the top of this. Let me get my webcam in place for tonight. Yeah, everything's a little weird tonight, guys. Bear with me. Fatal Streams is taking a break, and yeah. So Fatal Streams is going to be gone for a minute, so don't, bear with me for, a couple of, yeah, I got to fit it in somewhere. All right. So, AEW Dynamite, Grand Slam, one of their major shows. If you guys didn't watch it, really good show. We're going to go into the match card tonight. We're going to start off with Paige. So if you guys know WWE and you know Paige very well, Paige, back in wrestling. Saraya blew off the fucking roof tonight. Tore the building down. Without even having to wrestle a match, crowd was into it. It was rock vibes. Like CM Punk showing up and blew the roof off of the building. Guys, I gotta tell you enough. I'm a huge Paige mark. I will be buying a Saraya shirt. I don't know how long she signed for. I'm glad to see her back in a wrestling ring. Holy shit. I had a hard-on. I'm just saying. A hard-on. Okay, as a wrestling fan, I don't say that often, but damn. Sky's the limit with AEW with their division right now, with the women's division. They needed this. They needed star power like this. I'm wondering who else they're going to go after next before. It's either Paige was going to go back to WWE. That was just a fact. Triple H is now running the company, or you were going to have AEW come in, and AEW is paying whatever fuck all money they can give. You obviously heard that from MJF this week in interviews. Leading up to Grand Slam, leading up to it, you did have, literally, you had, MJF did talk about how much kind of in the three figures he was talking about. He's going to be AEW for here on out. He says there's a bidding war in 2024. I highly doubt it. He's going to be your next champion. Tonight, spoiler alert, Jon Moxley did win the championship for the third time. He is a 3-time AEW World Heavyweight Championship. I was really pulling for Bryan Danielson. It's not his time. And I think Danielson, I think his time's coming. I think we're coming to an end of his career coming soon. You could tell, just the wear and tear. But I think, he will be your champion eventually. I think Danielson will get a championship reign before it's all said and done with his career. Match of the night. Honestly, I would have to give match of the night if we had to go there to the Acclaim. The Acclaim versus Swerve and Our Glory. I think they're going to split Swerve and Our Glory up. I think you're going to see more and more of it as the weeks go by. The Acclaim, man, what a match. I can't say enough. I mean, they hit the Famouser on the end and rolled him up and then hit the mic check. That right there, that was just beautiful. I mean, you can't go wrong with the Acclaim. Scissor me up, daddy. You can't go wrong. It's the Acclaim's time. The Acclaim is, one of the most winning tag team that they have. They've been great on the mic. They're well over with the crowd. Now with Billy Gunn being in the Acclaim as their manager, you can't go wrong. You just really can't go wrong. Pac and Orange Cassidy, that match, it could have gone either way. I mean, to use a ring bell, timekeeper's ring bell to get the 1, 2, 3 to win. I mean, I guess Pac is known for cheating, the bastard Pac. Honestly, I'll just say that, I'll be honest, to be real, Orange Cassidy's a great piece of talent. I mean, it's not his time now, but it will be his time. I think, give him some time. I think Orange Cassidy's been a little green. Give it some time. I mean, Orange Cassidy's finally, they're letting the gloves off of him. He's not just putting the finger up or, the thumbs up. He's not doing just half of that shit. He has actually doing some things that are actually pretty entertaining. We need to see more of this. AEW's got to do more. They are delivering. They are getting you back somewhat to the old school AEW. They have to at this point. They have to get you back to AEW of old, where they had good matches with good storylines. They have to do things to make their show better. They got to start making Rampage a thing, because it is on the #1 channel out of the TNT networks. They have to in the States. And they are pulling 1.3, 1.5. They are pulling those numbers. They are pulling 1 million plus. They have to keep this momentum going. With MJF being, they need to start doing championship matches. They got to start doing, having at least a championship match a week, at least having an open challenge, at least having something. Have your Ring of Honor television championship. You need to have it prominent. You need to have the, now Chris Jericho being champion. I'm glad to see it. Yeah, I know Claudio Castagnoli, there'll be more for him. I think right now that Ring of Honor championship is just a stepping stone to getting to where he needs to be. I think he'll be TNT champion. I think he'll be all right. Or maybe he will go after other Ring of Honor stuff. Don't know. Castagnoli led the charge when he came in. I'm pretty happy that Murox, thanks for the host. I'm really happy. Tonight, honestly, it flowed. There was a beginning, middle, and end. It looked like it was very calculated. Now, the thing is with Tony Khan, and this is still the same thing I have on the board, and I have circled this many times, he needs to stop saying, we got 3 major teases. They were going to have a spectacle on Rampage. Well, believing it is seeing it. Believing it is seeing it to me at this point. As a wrestling fan, okay? Believing it is seeing it. He needs to start showing us why. And Saraya is 1, so now he's got 2 more. I think those are going to be set for Rampage. Saraya is a huge deal. She came out rocking the hot pants and the leather jacket I can't tell you enough. Saraya is the shit. I love her on Twitch. She's amazing. She was amazing as Paige. She is seasoned. You need that talent. She's been out of the game for a minute. Hopefully her neck can hold up and we can get some good quality matches in AEW. And they need to focus on the women's division. They really need to put an emphasis in it. They need to give the women more spotlight. The crowd is bored. The crowd was not into that match until the very end when they were beating up everybody and Britt Baker was bleeding. Typical Britt Baker bleeding. But, I digress. And the thing is, I'm a women's wrestling fan by heart. And the thing is, I love good women's wrestling. And you get to see that in Stardom and other places. But AEW's got to start showing up to the board. They have to. And you start with bringing in people like Paige, a.k.a. Saraya now. You bring in maybe an AJ Lee. Maybe you recount like what was in WWE. You start bringing in people like Madison Rayne. You start bringing in people from Impact that are well-known names in the scene. You start bringing in really good talent, and you fill in the gaps. You can't... Tony Storm, here's the problem with Tony Storm. You cannot build, and I was going to say that to Pesci earlier in the watch-along, you're trying to build somebody that's well-known in Japan, that came here and kind of got some type of wow in NXT, and then got really shunned on the main roster of Vince McMahon. You just don't have it. here on, and I'm brutally honest, Toni Storm is not a sexy name that you build around. Yeah, I mean, Thunder Rosa, yes, but at the end of the day, you don't build around Toni Storm. That's a fact. You just don't. Britt Baker, possible. Saraya, you honestly do. Saraya is a number one name you do sign immediately to your roster. You build around that. That's somebody you want to lead your women's division that started the women's revolution. That's what you start with right here and right now. If you want ratings, that's where you go. Flat out, 100%. You're going to have the wrestling people, the infantry out there going to say, well, that's just them picking another WWE talent. No. Paige was released. She let her contract and she didn't know where she was going to go. She did millions of other things, made millions of dollars. Now here she is. Probably signed a 3-figure contract. Now it's about delivering. Let's hope her neck holds up and she doesn't paralyze herself and all that. She said on podcast and on her own stream on Twitch that, hey, she's 100% ready to go, golden, whatever, So at the end of the day, for me, I'm excited about this. You should be excited about this. My dogs are barking. Go figure. But you should be excited. I think, as a wrestling fan, you should be excited for this. This is... And for people to sit here and say, well, AEW is doing shit because of CM Punk and the Young Bucks, they're going back to their roots. They're not seeing it the last 3 weeks now. They're going back to the roots. They're bringing in people. They're retooling. They're making their divisions better. Yes, do I think Jon Moxley, should he been champion? No, but there's a storyline there ready to go for MJF. So MJF can cash in somewhere and win the belt, I don't think this reign from Moxley, that the third reign, is going to be very long. I don't think it's going to be very long. Moxley wants vacation time. MJF is coming off the hottest shit that he's ever done. I think that's just a win-win in a situation in that, you have Moxley hold it until Revolution or Full Gear or whatever they're doing next. Have him just lose it there. You have him cash in, win, be done. And then when Moxley comes back, they can have the rubber match. He can lose again. Moxley should go down the card personally. Moxley's had too many title. They're treating him like Roman Reigns, and I think he should go down a peg. On a personal note, that's just my personal opinion. But yeah, the Acclaim tonight winning. I mean, that's just that's just magic. Now, where does Swerve in their glory go? No, we find out. Catholics, thanks for the host. Thanks for the host. But Toni Storm, Serena Deeb, Athena, they brought Athena in. She was another hot one from WWE, was Ember Moon. What has she done? I think you build around Athena. Saraya goes to the top of the mountain, and you go Athena, Britt Baker, Toni Storm, Thunder Rosa. Or you go Saraya, Thunder Rosa. I would say next would be Britt Baker, then Toni Storm. Then I would say, you could slice that and dice it. Your roster is now stacked in the women's division. Jade Cargill's still green. I don't know why they see a lot in her. I don't understand it. I've never understood it. She's too green. Drop the belt already. That's the thing that needs to happen here. Now with Saraya being part of the division, you got to have Jade Cargill lose sometime. And I would have Saraya go against, right now, I know they're going to have Saraya go right for the women's belt. I get that. But where's Thunder Rosa come into? Thunder Rosa looks like it's not a kayfabe injury. It's not a storyline. Thunder Rosa debunked all that. She's not asking for a release. She's just hurt. And that's the thing about the dirt sheets that I've never understood when it comes to wrestling and them reporting shit. You know what I mean? They report so much shit on the internet that's not true. And wrestling fans gobble it up. That's the thing. Us as wrestling fans, we gobble up the shit because, Ryan Sapp and all these people and Ryan Satan, whatever you want to call him, And you can even see their marks. They just put out wrestling stuff to put out wrestling stuff. Like right now, the guy that's Rosenberg or whatever his name is, he's getting in trouble right now. He's in trouble for a lot of shit. So, at the end of the day, I like Saraya in WWE. AEW. I think it's a win-win situation for her. I think she's at a point of her career. She wants to help build a redemption. I think this is what this is coming down. Redemption. I think really you can have her in those matches if her neck can hold. That's going to be the $1 million question. If her neck can hold. Because we saw her come back way too soon. She came back way too soon in WWE and got hurt over a missile dropkick to the back. Now, from what she said, she's been cleared by many doctors. Excuse me, dinner. I had dinner earlier. We had spaghetti and meatballs in the house earlier. So, yeah, I would honestly say match of the night would probably go to the Acclaim, Swerve in their glory. I mean, the match was fantastic. They played off of an injury on Max Caster with a knee injury. It looked gnarly, devastating when he went for the first mic check and went down wrong. Like he felt his knee and came down wrong, Claudio and Chris Jericho, that match was okay. I mean, you saw the flow. I knew they were going to give it to Chris Jericho. You saw how the flow was going. It was a typical Chris Jericho championship match. You knew he was going to get his 8th championship somewhere. He's alluded to that, they did this in short span in 2 weeks, that he hasn't won a championship in Ring of Honor. You give it to him. You let him be the GOAT. Chris Jericho, when it all comes said and done in his career, I don't think he's going back to WWE. I think Tony Khan and him, he's at Jacksonville games. He's getting paid trips to anyway. So I am going to literally wrap this show up real quick and tell you guys tonight was a really good show. From beginning, middle, and end. It had its slow points. I'm not going to tell you it didn't. It had its slow points. I'm not going to tell you that this show was a show. I would say this is a solid B- from me. From us at Slam Zone. Like, for, I'm soloing, so I would say B-. It wasn't bad. It wasn't good. It was in the middle to good. You know what I mean? It was like it could go either way. Good. It was slow at points, but it drove the point home that here's AEW. They're getting back to what they were doing. This is what they were doing during the pandemic. This is what they were doing. They were doing okay storyline, okay booking, and they were just making it work. The problem is with AEW is they brought in CM Punk and they allowed all these EVPs to do what they needed to do, play roughshod. Where Tony Khan needs to start doing is being an owner. He needs to be an owner. And he needs to start being an owner, and he needs to start taking control and start signing good talent. Because there's a lot of women's talent that they can sign right now. That would make a hell of a difference. There's a lot of them. Lady Frost over on Impact would be a good one. There's a lot of good talent. Jessica Havoc. You could bring in Rosemary when her contract's up. Yada, yada, yada. There's so much bidding wars they could do to get these people signed. There's so much different talent. Like, AEW has a Thunder Rosa. It has the Britt Bakers. Now you build it around Saraya. Now this is your ace in the hole. This is who you build around. You build around a Saraya. You bring in another big name, like maybe a Kairi Sane. Maybe you bring in Mayu. Maybe you bring in AJ Lee. Maybe you bring Tessa Blanchard in. Wouldn't that be something that AEW just goes after? I know Tessa Blanchard doesn't have a good reputation in the locker room. You bring maybe a Tessa Blanchard in for the hell of it, and you wrap it around all these people. You wrap around. You start getting your pillars of the women's division, because you got to set. If AEW is going to bring out an all-elite women's show, this is how you do it. If it's going to be an hour, too long hour show, this is how you build for it. You bring in a Saraya for this moment. Saraya is literally your Tom Brady of the world. She is your LeBron. Yes, on any roster. It was her or AJ Lee. And it was always 1-2 between them. It's like bringing in a Sasha Banks. Where does Sasha Banks and Naomi go at this point? Have they made a decision to go back to WWE? All these dirt sheets says, yes, I believe they will be going back to WWE. But at the end of the day, maybe they go AEW. Don't know that question. Maybe it's all just a swerve. And then, you got all these wrestling, wrestlers saying, oh, well, CM Punk, this, that, and the third. I think it's all for work and show. It's all just to stroke the own ego out there at the end of the day. I really think CM Punk's getting fired. I really think CM Punk's getting fired. They want to really, if not fired, he's going to be let go, released. Not fired, but released. I think they're going to let him go. At this point, it kind of screams that. They don't really need him. They didn't need him. MJF is blowing the building off everywhere he goes with his devil worshippers, as he's calling it now. Which I'm one of them. I love MJF. Anything MJF fucking does, I'm a huge fucking fan. Like MJF literally can cut a promo anywhere on a podcast, to a phone book. It don't matter. He is worth the money. I think if I'm Tony Khan, I don't let him walk away. I don't let him go to a WWE. I sign him to 6 figures like a John Moxley. I keep MJF, Moxley, Danielson, Chris Jericho. I keep these people in. Claudio, when his contract comes up, I pay these guys. Then you got Adam Cole coming back. Now, where I see Adam Cole coming back, they said it was supposed to be Grand Slam. That was the other surprise. I don't think he's ready for that. I think he's still hurt. If Adam Cole comes back, here's where you put him. You put him immediately in against Wardlow. You have Wardlow lose at that point. You need to give Adam Cole this big fucking push eventually. And you let him run and make the AEW title, the TNT belt, the AEW TNT belt. You make it worth the damn. Or you have Adam Cole come in and you have him win the Ring of Honor champion. You make him the face of that place. That's damn sure. That's 100%. Now, do we see the Elite come back in the next 6 months? No. I think the Elite are done. I think they're done skis for now. I don't think they're going to be back for quite a while. I think they'll be back when Tony Khan redeems them to be back. And I've been reading that it's supposed to be right after the investigation by an independent firm. So, Saraya is now all Elite. I can't show you footage of what happened on Dynamite. That would be gets TOSs in most places. So go find it on Twitter. The roof came off. That doesn't happen in a long ass time. That happened with CM Punk. Now, do I dig CM Punk? It's hard because CM Punk is going to get fired. I think him and Ace still are going to be fired. I think Tony Khan got to live his dream. Got to have CM Punk part of his roster as he wanted. And it didn't work. It failed. You could build up your talent. Now it's the time for AEW in this dark period to build up their talent, good stories, turn Rampage into 2 hours, build up your other shows called Dark and Elevation. Elevation should be on like True TV or somewhere. Seriously, on the Turner Broadcasting Network. Or BR Live every week. Or somewhere. Or HBO Max. If they want to do the live shit, and they're going to turn HBO Max into Discovery Plus, then here's what they fucking do. They put Dark Elevation and Dark on those platforms and sell it every week. They could turn Dark into their version of Lucha Underground if they wanted to. Seriously. But that's just my personal opinion on today on AEW. Real quick, I'll give you guys a little taste of how I felt. I'm not reviewing NXT. I watched a little NXT this week. NXT was a travesty. You stripped Solo Sikoa of the fucking title. The fucking title. You stripped this man after you had him defending the championship on Friday night SmackDown against Matt Cat Moss. What the fuck are we doing? This is Triple H running. Everybody tells me Triple H is a miracle worker. He's great. What the fuck was that all about? You have him defend just to have fucking Shawn Michaels, the general manager, go, well, hey, I'm just a cowboy. I'm just going to pull your fucking title from you. With no rhyme or reason, and say, well, there's going to be a match at TakeOver Halloween Havoc, and we're going to have, this high spectacle. And it's like, really? The guy that, you want the bloodline to look really good, but you have one of your dudes that doesn't have a title, not have a title? It just makes no sense storyline. Triple H, you're pulling a Vince McMahon. Stop it. Don't repeat what your father-in-law is doing, man. Don't do that shit. Or it could be a Bruce Pritchard. Could be anything. But really, I find that to be stupid. You have Shawn Michaels running the place, and you have him come in and go, well, gee willikers, we're just going to strip you of the fucking title. Gee willikers. I was watching this, and I was like, what the hell are we doing? This is bad booking. Horrible booking. If you were going to do that, here's what you do, right? On NXT, here's the fuck you do. Pardon my language. Here's what you do. Okay? My fantasy booking hat is on. Here's what you do, right? You have one of your upcoming rising stars that is ready for a push. You have him beat Sikoa. Sikoa goes back to SmackDown and wins a championship belt next night. You have him win like an Intercontinental belt. Or, I know that's holded by Gunther, and that's not going to happen. But you can have him beat Bobby Lashley. And have him carrying it between both shows anyway. As the Bloodline. As the Bloodline. It just makes no sense how you have him make the Bloodline out. Like, at the press conference, you have him holding the North American Championship just to have him lose. Or get stripped. Out of nowhere. Why'd you have him win in the first place? They were like, well, the fans got to decide, Fans got to decide, but we didn't get to decide. Whoever made that decision, gee willikers, like a Turbo Tuesday. It's like, dude, really? You should have him keep the belt. It made sense. And then just have him lose in one of the pay-per-views. You could have had him defend it on Extreme Rules and had an NXT match. Really? Had him lose. It didn't have to be the way it needed to be. It's like, my name's Triple H, and I just do shitty booking at times. I got you, fans. Hardcore fans, I got you. Triple H right now is booking Raw decently. He's booking SmackDown decent. I like the fact that he made the announcement in the wrestling news. If you guys didn't hear, War Games is coming back. Now, they're saying that Blood may be in Survivor Series on Peacock. It'll be the first time they do it. I don't know why people are freaking out about it. AEW's been doing it for a while. Fucking GCW does it. A lot of wrestling Impact Wrestling does it every once in a while on their TV, on national television. Come on now. MLW does it on Vice time to time. Like, come on, man. What are we doing in 2022? You can't have a War Games match with no blood. Somebody is going to cut themselves. Somebody's going to get hurt. That's the nature of the beast of this match. If you're going to have an all-women's War Games match, you got to have blood. Somewhere, somehow, you got to have broken bones. You got to have something. And this is at Survivor Series. Keep this in mind. Then we have Crown Jewel with fucking, I got a lot to say about that one. Roman Reigns versus Logan Paul. Who gives a shit? We all know who's walking away with the Universal titles. Roman fucking Reigns. He's holding that shit until fucking Timbuktu scratch my ass. Fucking Wrestle fucking Mania. Hello? The Rock? You're going to have The Rock, his cousin, walk in which is kayfabe, not real bloodline. Walk into WrestleMania, walk out with the belts, turn around, Roman Reigns goes to be an actor. Are you shitting me? This is going to be your attraction at WrestleMania Los Angeles at SoFi Stadium. This is going to be the thing outside, like 45 minutes away from me. That's your thing. That's what you're doing. That's your beginning, middle, and end for the next 7 months. So let me get this straight. Roman Reigns and everybody else gets to be put in the back seat. Roman Reigns gets the thing. I will give Roman Reigns this due. His storyline has been great. I love Roman, but I'm getting tired. I'm getting exhausted of Roman Reigns. I don't think Roman Reigns needs to fight with 1-2 titles against Dwayne Johnson. I think it should just be one. One for it all. And let Dwayne Johnson hold the belt for a month and let him walk out and go back to acting. Let that be the swan song of The Rock. Say goodbye, leave, retire, do what he needs to do. Because we see The Rock once every 4 years anyway. Or we're going to start seeing John Cena once every 4 years. That's just, I know I'm going on a tangent, and I know I'm like, but I'm tired of Roman Reigns. But Roman Reigns is a draw, and I get it, and I'm going to hear from people Roman Reigns needs too. I see that argument too, 100%. But at the end of the day, I'm on fire with wrestling today, man. I'm totally on fire. So Saraya is now confirmed for AEW. I guess Eddie Kingston hit a huge promo against Powerhouse Hobbs. So, like I said, Swerve and our glory lost the belts. Brian Cage should be on. Brian Cage making a rap song, literally to be on television. I think that's hilarious. Let's see. Let's go into the wrestling news before we get out of here for right now. I'm going to be switching it up to some games here in a minute on my other channels, and then we'll switch with an actual live stream on my YouTube. So you guys are getting a huge show tonight. We did about 30. We're about 30 minutes into a review. That's not bad from us here at SlamZoneSports. But yeah, that's my pure opinion. I mean, Monday Night Raw was okay. It's Monday Night Raw, Triple H. Look, it goes in waves with Triple H. I think Triple H is trying to rework some things and fix some things. Things are a little haywire. I personally think if it's me and I'm Triple H, I take an hour off of SmackDown, hour off of Raw, 2 hour Raw like they used to do, and then do 2 hours of NXT next day, and then SmackDown, you could do the same thing you're doing. I don't think. Oh, and So Zombified is literally by Fallen in Reverse is literally the band that her boyfriend does. So her boyfriend, that's the music you guys heard tonight if you're watching AEW. That is Saraya's theme song. I don't think Tony Khan had to pay money for that. I think Saraya just came out with her own music and her own theme. Saraya looked hot tonight, not gonna lie. Saraya looked fucking impressive, hot. Looked like she's been working out. Looks like she's been training. I think she's ready for this moment. And she looks older. Saraya looks older. It looks more refined. I think we're gonna get a better Paige in AEW. I think the pop is there. I really think this time around, I think Paige is gonna be really good, honestly, personally. So, Yeah. Anyway, let's see what's going on in... let's see what's going on right now. Nothing is going on anywhere. My buddy's not on to play Gundam Evolution. Anyway, guys, if you're on the YouTube side, thank you guys for stopping in. Make sure to rate, like, and subscribe if you haven't over there. I'm going to end the stream here over on YouTube. Thank you guys for all of you guys for stopping in and watching a review of what we do here at SlamZoneSports. You're getting that on my Reivew TV channel for this week. Because I got to get hours and stuff. But next week, when the hours reset and everything, I think it's next week or the week after that, we'll be back to business as usual. This will also be on Spotify. We got another place that for iHeart Radio. Wherever you get your podcast at, we're there. The two major ones. Also, we are working on other forms of social media, so get prepared for that. SlamZoneSports, we're gonna be taking it up a notch. Just let you guys know, Fatal Streams will be back here soon. I'm gonna be soloing some reviews for the next week or 2 or 3. So when he comes back, we're gonna be firing on. He's gonna be hyped. We're gonna get going on that stuff. So I just want to thank you guys for stopping by on the YouTube Reno and everywhere else. We're also on Trovo at SlamZoneSports. Also check out Slam Zone Gaming, the stream team that I co-run with Fatal Streams, both owners of SlamZoneSports and Gaming. I miss my buddy. I know he's taking a step back, taking a step away, and he'll be back stronger than ever. All right, so we're going to get into some gaming. I will see you back on my channel. Guys on YouTube, bye-bye. I'll see you guys later on, probably